Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at some newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards that just got announced over here. And there's a new book card, as Book of Moon is one of the most famous Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I think a lot of people really missed back in the day when it was actually used in competitive play. And on top of that, a new Sphinx card. Hopefully this will be much better than the rest of the Sphinx cards, Kappa. But and on top of that, we've got some new Synchro to go ahead and check out. But there's a lot of new stuff here. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to check out is the Sphinx card. So this is named the Pharaonic Guardian Sphinx, which is a level 8 Earth Rock effect monster with 2300 attack and 3000 defense points. And it says you can only use each of this card's named second and third effects once per turn each. The first effect is, once per turn you get to change this card to face down defense position. The second part is, if this card is flip summon, you get to shuffle all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. The third effect is, if this card you control is destroyed by opponent's card, you get to special one level 5 rock monster from your hand or deck in face down defense position. Oh wow, that's actually supporting its like own archetype. That could actually be pretty insane if you use some other like the coin Norma. There's a build to basically have a ritual variant of setting face down, you know, flip effect monsters from your hand. So this could be potentially something that you can make it great use out of, especially if you're going to be able to flip it up during your opponent's turn, and then bam, you can instantly just completely wreck your opponent. It's almost better than a Regeki, because a lot of card effects when they're in the graveyard they get some type of thing, but if they're back into the deck, that's really good. Next up though, we have the Dark Eye Nightmare, which is a level 4 Dark Fiend effect monster with 1700 attack and 1700 defense points. And it says you can only use this card's name first effect once per turn. The first effect is you can banish up to 3 traps from your graveyard. Apply this effect depending on the number you banished. 1 to draw 1 card, then place 1 card in your hand on top of the deck. That's actually pretty good for top decking other plays with like the rank up magic, right? And then the second part of the effect is you get to draw 1 card. The third effect is draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. So maybe in Dark Worlds or other archetypes could be quite great for that effect. And then the second part of it says once per turn, if this card will be destroyed by battle, you get to banish 1 trap from your graveyard instead. I'm not sure if people will manage to try to use this in like Dark Worlds, but I mean this effect is just all about it's a Dark Fiend, so heck, maybe someone will try to mix it in. Next up we have 1 Kuriwei, which is a normal spell card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. The first effect is to target 1 Link monster in either graveyard, shuffle it into the extra deck, or special summon it to its owner's field. Okay, that's very interesting. Like, you know, why would you want to give them something, but you never know. Next up though, we have Star Mine, which is a level 4 Pyro Synchro effect monster with 2000 attack and 200 defense points, so it would be a target for rekindling. Materials are 1 tuner plus 1+ non-tuner monsters, and it says you can only special summon Star Mines once per turn. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect or destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster, take 2000 damage, then inflict 2000 damage to your opponent. The second part of it says if a monster or monsters in this card's adjacent monster zone is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster or by opponent's card effect, destroy this card. If you do, take 2000 damage, then inflict 2000 damage to your opponent. Oh, so it's like kind of a new burn card, although since you can only go for 1 per turn, like how relevant is that in some burn decks? You got to be really fast in a burn deck, but nonetheless, that's the effect of it. Next up, we have Secret Hot Springs of the Far East. Field spell card says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. The first effect is once per turn during each player's main phase 2, the turn player can gain 500 life points, and if they do, apply these effects for the rest of the turn. That player's monsters normal and special summons cannot be negated. Wow. The second part of it says if that player activates a spell / trap card or monster effect that includes the effect that special summons a monster or monsters, that activation cannot be negated. And then the last part of it says that player's set spells / traps cannot be targeted by or destroyed by their opponent's card effects. Okay. I don't know. It is during the player's main phase 2. That's what really makes it, unfortunately, way out of the metagame. I mean, this effect is absolutely phenomenal. That they can't stop you from going for your plays, but again, maybe if you go first and you just go right to main phase 2 and you're just like, all right, you can't stop my plays, that can actually be something to potentially think about. But nonetheless, I feel like when they had a Hot Spring card, come on, you know, you could have made this prismatic secret rare and had Dark Magician in the artwork, and people would have bought that up. That was a missed out opportunity. I really feel like without and hot spring cards. I mean, heck, we got like what's that, a samurai card? I feel like again they could have used some better artwork. Or let me know in the comment section below who would you have liked to see on the artwork for that. Anyways, next up there is a card called Fukubiki, which is a normal trap card that says each player shuffles their deck, and if they do, execute the top cards of each deck and compare their attacks. Treat monsters with question mark attack, spells, and traps as having 0 attack. If their attacks are not equal, add the card with a higher attack to its owner's hand. If you do, send the card with a lower attack to the graveyard. If their attacks are equal, place them on the bottom of the deck. Okay, that's a very interesting effect over there. I mean, this could be one of those more troll cards. So it looks like they're still supporting, I would say, again, this is what Troll has written all over it. But if you do things with like Convulsions of Nature and basically stack your deck for the other like, you know, obscure like types of play in Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe you could do something fun with it. But if they still get a monster in the grave, that still is going to benefit them at the end of the day. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just, again, one of those troll cards. All right, more cards. So the first card that we're going to be taking a look at, as they're showing all 4 pictures up at once, the first card is that new book card. This is the Book of Lunar Eclipse. So it's a quick play spell card that says discard 1 card, then target 2 face-up monsters on the field and change them to face-down defenses. Wow, that's good. It's a boss Book of Moon. It's like a better version of Book of Moon because you get double monsters. Unfortunately, you know, Link plays. I wish it said or negate their effects. You can target up to monsters, negate their effects, or flip them face down. Because the problem with this is that once something is already established, especially with Link monsters, they're just going to be like, nope, because you can't do anything to them. Obviously, the point of it is to disrupt it mid-play, but I think that this is pretty good, especially if there's any archetypes that can get benefits off of the cards in the graveyard. But I'm going to call this the new Super Book of Moon. Or the boss Book of Moon, I don't know what to call it. But anyways, I'm curious to know, do you guys think this card is even going to see any play in the state of the game? I want to say it sounds really good for some archetypes if you can get a benefit off of the card, but at the end of the day, again, most of the time, all these monsters effects will start negating things, and we already have like droplets. I still think it's a good card though. It definitely is not like 2 out of 10 would not play in any deck. I think some archetypes will definitely think about running it. But anyways, next up we have the Yamori Mori over here, which is translation pending research. Oh, that's probably not what it's called in TCG. It's just whatever it's called. So it's the water reptile with the effect, which is probably this card right here. So anyways, it is a level 2/0/0, and anyways, it says you can only use this card's name effect once per turn. The first effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target 1 reptile monster you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and activate one of these effects. Change the targeted monster to face-down defense position, or you can destroy your targeted monster, and if you do, change your opponent's targeted monster's attack to 0 until the end of this turn. Next up, we have YuGiOh, which is a carbon play on Earthling and Old Earth God. Anyways, Earth Fairy effect over here, level 4. I guess this is still, it's this picture probably in the bottom right. Anyways, level 4 Earth Fairy effect, 1200, and it says you can only use either this card's name, first or second effect per turn, and only once that turn. The first part of the effect is you can attribute this normal summon card to add 1 Earth Fairy monster from your deck to your hand, except for the YuGiOh Carbon. And then the second part of the effect is if a face-up fairy monster you control is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can place this card to the top of your deck. Alright, next up we have a new pendulum card over here, which is the Hendo Kiko Clark. It's an odd pun on climate change. Alright, so Dark Machine Pendulum effect, level 4, scale 4, 600 attack, 1200 defense points, pendulum effect. While you control no monsters or all your monsters you control are pendulum monsters, apply this effect based on your pendulum zone this card is in. If it's on the left, oh, is this the first time we're having like when it's on the left and the right zone, it actually matters? That's kind of interesting. So if it's on the left, reduce this card's pendulum scale by 3. If it's on the right, increase this card's pendulum scale by 4. Oh, that's really cool. And then the long effect, second part of it says, once returning during your opponent's standby phase, you just special summon this card from your pendulum zone. And the monster effect is if this card is special summoned to a zone that is not the center main monster zone, destroy this card, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. Once returning during your opponent's end phase, you can target 1 card in your pendulum zone, destroy it. If you do, place this card in your pendulum zone. Okay. That could be interesting for, I don't know, metal foes. Like, there's a lot of archetypes that can make great use out of destroying or ignite. if that deck ever comes back. But nonetheless, I'm most excited as far as the cards go. The Sphinx thing is just more like nostalgia than anything. But I think that book card is probably what's got a lot of people talking about it in terms of any of these cards for like the metagame to splash into, you know, any archetype. But let me know, guys, what you think of it down below. Do you guys think it's going to see any play? But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the video. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you are new here and you want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, subscribe and turn on the bell. And as soon as they come out, I'll let you guys know what they do. Anyways, take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. And I'm signing out. Peace.